Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, I'd certainly be sick here by myself, and you know the old saying, misery loves company. Whew, what a day. Boy. This is one of those days that you just kind of hate life, you know? I've got this bad head cold. It's driving me crazy, and of course, Joe Boo definitely needs a refill. So let's get Joe Boo his refill, and we're going to get right to it. All of you guys that have shot glasses out there, pour yourself a refill. And I've got some lime and tea. I'm going to put a shot of rum in there, and hopefully that'll help get me through this show tonight. Wow. I don't know what to say. I got to thank Law Nation, because this morning I was at work, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I get a instant message from Law Nation, and he said, dude, Zeke Elliott was involved in a bar fight. Check out Mike Fisher, because, you know, I got Cover 12, not Cover 12, or 12 Up. I've got Bleacher Report. I've got NFL. I've got nothing going on here. But all of a sudden, I look at Mike Fisher, and Mike Fisher is saying, you know, details of Zeke Elliott's barroom fight. And that's not like Mike Farello or Adam Schefter, these guys. Generally, Mike Fisher is usually pretty much on point, so shout out to him and things. So if he's reporting that, then I think there's some legitimacy to it. So as we've gone through this, we've heard that Zeke Elliott has punched out a bouncer, you know, at a club and yada, yada, yada. Well, there's a video that came out from TMZ. Of course, there's always a video from TMZ. And you see this guy who is rolling around on the floor. And in my mind, my first thing is, that guy's a bouncer? I mean, he was about this wide. I'm like, if that's a bouncer, hell, they're probably getting beat up all the time, because there's no way in the world that that guy should have been a bouncer. So then we hear stories about him actually being drunk and that he's a DJ. So then we hear that this guy got hit in the face, and he was so drunk he didn't know who hit him. Now, what we do know is there are off-duty police officers at the club. And see, policemen are trained differently than everybody else, because they are trained to observe, to notice things, and see what's going on, see suspicious people, and so forth. So if they didn't catch anything going on and didn't see who did it, chances are nobody knows who did this. Chances probably are that Zeke Elliott didn't do anything, but everybody has already gone off on a tangent and saying that Zeke Elliott, he's already been convicted. I put up a video earlier today when I was in between working at one museum, came home, took a 2-hour nap, and then went back to work. And it was First Take, and they had like a whole round table. I guess Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman and Molly are all on vacation, so they have a couple other idiots that are around there. And the thing that was interesting about it, let me drink a little tea because my throat's getting kind of dry here. I'm not a tea person, but throw some rum and lime in there. It's not that bad. The first guy goes out, immediately says, Roger Goodell's got to go throw the hammer down on this guy. They got it wrong in domestic violence with Ray Rice and stuff, and they've got to send a message. You know, he's in a club beating up people. I was like, oh, pump the brakes there, buddy. Let's pump the brakes here for a second. Let's go back to the domestic violence. There has not been any charges. The NFL has been investigating for a year. So if the NFL has been investigating for a year, you think if they found something that the police department, the district attorney didn't, that they would just be sitting on it this long? When you looked at the Darrell Revis case, didn't that get solved in like a month? The whole fighting and he knocked somebody out? A month? Now you've had a year to go through all the facts from the police department, from the district attorney. You've gotten his phone records, text messages, and everything else. You have eyewitnesses with swear affidavits that says she's lying and asked me to lie for her. Okay, so versus domestic violence. I'm not saying that he couldn't possibly have done it, but in that case, where the story went from he's been beating me for months to he's been beating me for a week and he threw me across the room and he choked me to the point of gasping for air to I got beat up in my car. And then the girl who was in the car said, "No, you didn't," and you asked me to lie about that. And it turned out the bruises that you had were from a fight that you had with another woman at a club, in which you proceeded then to go to Zeke's house, see Zeke driving back with another woman driving his car, cuss her out, and then say, "I'm going to ruin you, Zeke." That domestic violence, you're charging him and saying that he's guilty of that? Because if you say he's guilty of that and you suspend him for that, guess what? That means there is open season on football players to just say, "Hey, I'm going to blackmail you because I'm going to say that you beat me up." Domestic violence. Because if that's what they convict him of for domestic violence and give him a 1 or 2 game suspension, then you're opening up Pandora's box. Let's go to incident number 2. For some reason, clubs in Ohio, there's always problems with NFL players. It's like Arizona. If you're a football player, stay the hell away from Arizona. Stay away from Ohio. You're going to get in trouble in those places. Zeke goes to a club with some friends, and apparently one guy carried a gun and said he's with Zeke. Zeke talked to the police outside. TMZ comes out and says, Zeke Elliott detained by the police. And the headlines, of course, are gun Zeke detained by the police. Automatically, everybody's guilty. He's carrying guns into the club. Well, he didn't carry a gun and like shoot himself like Plexico Burris or D-back in Denver. You know, those idiots. Wasn't Zeke. Now, Boobygate, okay, I'll give you that one. Clear evidence of him pulling his top down. But like I pointed out, a tape that I didn't see other people pointing out. Before he pulled that top down, the woman behind him pulled her stuff out, popped it up. The woman whose top got pulled off, you'll notice that she was wearing a rather low cut top. Not that that gives you license to pull it down. But she's pointing like this and then pointing at him. Look at my breast. Look at Zeke. You want him to show. And again, don't send me your hate mail. I'm sick, okay? Forgive me. Don't send me your hate mail tonight. But to me, that was kind of an invitation. To me, it looked like a Mardi Gras type of event. People getting drunk, people having a good time. And if you've ever been to Mardi Gras, you know there's boobies out everywhere for beads. But hey, again, he should have known better. I'm Zeke Elliott. I'm a Dallas Cowboy player. I've got a target on my back, and I shouldn't do that. So, yes, that's definitely mark number 1. Then we had the good old, he's sitting on a jet ski, and the Coast Guard with smiles on their face are checking to see if there's enough life preservers. But immediately we hear Zeke Elliott's boat boarded. Well, it wasn't Zeke Elliott's boat. He just happened to be there. Second, it was because they're checking to make sure there were enough life preservers for the people who were there, even though the boat was docked and didn't go anyplace. So that's that incident. Now, is it conceivable that Zeke was just at this club? This guy got to be an idiot, got fresh with somebody, and somebody clocked him, and Zeke had nothing to do with it? Because the way the talking heads on First Take were, you need to come down hard on this guy. This guy doesn't get it. Now, mind you, I agree. He needs to tone it down. He's got to understand, I'm Zeke Elliott. Forgive me, guys. I'm trying to get through this thing. Throat is terrible. It's been a long day. It's been a stressful day with Zeke Elliott, so forgive me. He's got to understand that I can't be in these situations. He needs to have bodyguards, protection, people around him. And we need the Dallas Cowboys. That's right, I said the Dallas Cowboys. We need Dak. We need Jason Witten. We need Sean Lee. We need somebody to grab a hold of Zeke and say, Zeke, what the F are you doing, man? Yeah, well, Michael says Jason Garrett. We know that Jason Garrett's not going to do that. He'll Next time you go to the club, don't get in the fight. There you go. That'll be Jason Garrett. They need to get a hold of him and say, hey, look, dude, we can't have this right now. We are building something special, and our plans include you. We don't need you suspended for 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, or at all. We don't need your mind focusing on TMZ and the media and having to respond to the NFL. We need you out there working out, being the best player that you can be, part of this team, and being focused and keeping all this nonsense off of all of us. Can't be put in that situation. So that's my take on that. And I'm hoping that he'll get exonerated. And all the people that have already condemned him, like I said in first take, all these guys are like, he's just a thug. He's just this and he's just that. Come on, guys. He's a 22, 23-year-old man with money, fame, popularity. Take a look at the guy from the Texans who slapped the bouncer and got pepper sprayed. Not really same kind of response, is it? And you start talking about domestic violence. How about Frank Clark, who pled down to domestic violence, drafted in the second round by Seattle, then proceeds to cuss out by tweets the reporter who reported on this, even though it's a true story. He never got suspended. We got the guy from Kansas City Tariq Hill, who punched a woman in the face. And there's pictures of all of that. Are we hearing about him being suspended? Seattle Seahawks quarterback, drunk, his girlfriend backs into people at a club in Dallas, and he's got weed in the car too. Ain't heard nothing about that either. Darrelle Revis case took all of a month. But here, 361 days, I believe, the NFL has been investigating this. Something just ain't right. So let me get to some of you guys' thoughts here and questions. Sorry, I've been kind of going on here, but this has just been building up inside of me all day because everybody has already run the man's name through the mud, and if it ends up being that he's exonerated, I guarantee you will not hear an apology from anybody. Jeffrey Dyson, you're definitely right. He is a magnet. But see, here's the thing you got to understand. Listen, when you're a celebrity, when you got money, you got everybody who wants a piece of that. They want to hang with you. Women want to be your baby mama or your girl wrapped around. They want that bling bling. TMZ wants to get the videos because, boom, it gets clicks. If you're a dude, girlfriend says, oh, man, that's Zeke Elliott. Look at that body. And you're up there, oh, that dude's not so tough. I can take him. And you get up in there and get in the guy's face. Charles Barkley was forever having people that wanted to challenge him and stuff because they knew if he hits me, I'm going to get paid. So we don't know all the circumstances here. Could have been a drunk guy who was kind of like, man, yeah, I'm going to take Zeke Elliott's girl or something like that. Got in there, or, who knows what happened. We don't. So let's wait till all the facts on the table before we suspend him on that one. Marcel's Aaron, we need Sherman. Okay. Zeke is crazy, but not stupid crazy. I hope not. I hope you're right, Stars. Um, Des needs to talk to Zeke man to man. Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Dan Green. Shout out to all you guys that joined me here tonight. Wow, we've got a full house in here. Let me go up to the top here. Good grief. Um, Marcellus Aaron, you first one in here tonight. Tyrone the one. My dad's name, Tyrone. YZ. Mark is the GOAT. I don't know about that one, man. I still have a day job, of course. But one of these days, I hope to come in here and say, guess what, guys? I quit my day job. Um, Raymond, thanks for the greetings from Texas. Ronnie, yo, what's happening? Deontay, you're here. Glad to hear it. If I butcher your name, forgive me. My Cowboys family, good evening to you too. Cool Gamer, you were first. Okay. What's up, Cowboy Nation? What's up, Social Sanity? Gravon from Virginia. What's up, Gravon? I guess you're one of my homeboys somewhere here in Virginia. Thanks, Dennis. I'm hoping that between all of the meds that I've thrown down, the rum and tea here, that hopefully that'll kind of get me over the hump, or it'll definitely knock me the F out. Um, yeah, I tell you what, every year I always get one of these summer colds that kicks my ass, and it's come around with a vengeance. Michael actually had it last week, and I think I got it from him, but I think I've taken it up another notch. Will Pearson, how you doing tonight? Stephen Lopez, um, YZ Zeke. Well, YZ. Here's the thing with Zeke and Cowboys in general. Anything that we do, it's automatically magnified, because what happens is you have other incidents that happen all over the NFL, but it's not covered like the Cowboys. Every single move by the Dallas Cowboys is covered to the nth degree. So you are always hearing about Dallas Cowboy players that get in trouble, even though it's no more than any other team, but it's the only ones that are covered. So immediately you think that they can't stay off the weed, yet there are other players that are busted all over the place for weed and stuff, but they don't talk about it. There are other cases of domestic violence, but they don't cover it like they do the Cowboys. So what you hear all the time is a Dallas Cowboy player in trouble for driving drunk. Dallas Cowboy player suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. Dallas Cowboy player Zeke Elliott is charged with domestic violence. No, actually, it's a domestic violence case that was, insinuated. So all of these things get blown up, but unfortunately, that goes to the territory of being a Dallas Cowboy player. If you're going to be on the team, you're going to get that fanfare. You're also going to get that venom, and you're going to get that hate as well. And there's nothing else you can do about it. Justin Beach, thanks a lot. Keith, Keith, just living the dream, man. Brian Harper, man, just talking about Zeke Elliott. And this is not what I thought I was going to be talking about tonight. I thought we were going to be talking about the team going to training camp next weekend. I thought we were going to be talking about the fact that the rookies are reporting in 2 days. Didn't think we'd have another one of these incidences coming up. Fresh 914, how you doing? Joe Boo says hi, right back at you. Shout out to my son Michael, who has started a Patreon or a Patreon page. I'm probably mispronouncing it, to help support the show. My dream is to travel to as many games as possible, get the Joe Boo Mobile Man Cave together. So we can get together as fans, do live streams, eat our ass off, and drink our ass off before games and stuff. So what we're going to do is, I know you guys have seen Law Nation on here, as well as some other people. How would you like the chance to be up here on the screen talking football with me and Joe Boo in the man cave? And if you do, what you can do is, we're going to pick on Sunday one of you guys randomly to go ahead and be on the show. So if you go to the Patreon page, you can see where you can enter to it. It asks for a $5 donation and stuff, and the proceeds go to supporting the show. And going towards the dream of Jobu's Man Cave. And believe it or not, Jobu just knocked down. We've actually been taking all of our super chats and putting it together, and we're actually closing into close to $1,000. That's all going to go towards the Jobu Mobile Man Cave. So hopefully, in the very near future, with your guys' help, my hard work and stuff, and putting away as many pennies as possible, we will have a ball at some of these football games together. And in fact, I'm looking at trying to do some other different contests and stuff. Like I was telling you guys before, going to the draft and meeting you guys was freaking fantastic. And just having some time to talk to you guys, meet you guys, and things like that. So hopefully, as we really get this thing going a little bit more and stuff like that, as we go to games, we may end up doing contests where we actually give a ticket giveaway for going to a game with me, Jobu, Michael, and you. So we're working on doing as much stuff together with you guys, the fans, than just me. Because like I always said, it's not about me. It's not about Jobu. It's about all of us together. And I want to take this whole thing to a whole nother level. So if you want to contribute to the Jobu Sports Report, go right on up here to the Patreon page. And I'm still setting that up, so I've got to put some videos and stuff on there. But you guys know I'm always on the go, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to do that. But let me get back to some of your guys' questions. We all need a shout out to today's. Hey, fill your Jobu shot glass there, buddy, because we definitely need one. I'm just hoping that we can just get to training camp without losing anybody else. Alex, I agree with you. I think that, I don't know for sure. But to me, it just sounds kind of fishy. If you had policemen that were there and there's no arrest, no questioning of Zeke or anything like that, because there's video of the guy knocked out rolling on the floor. If the police were talking to Zeke, there would definitely be some video footage of that. Watching Philly 500 videos funny. Okay. Well, Joe, like I was saying before, I think somebody needs to get a hold of him and just kind of say, dude, we need you for the long haul, buddy. You know you got a target on your back. You got to watch where you go. You got to have people with you all the time to make sure you're not drinking too much, you're not getting in any trouble, and nobody is able to come up and just get into anything with you. They really have to take a hard, long look at that. That DJ made my day. Okay. Okay, Karen. Sorry you can't hang around. You're too slow to keep up. Yeah, the feed is kind of flying through here. I'm having a hard time. I'm thinking I'm going. Oh, EDP has a new. What is Jack the Joker? What is EDP's new channel called? Because there is definitely nothing there under EDP. I'm wondering why he changed up. Did he get suspended or something? Yeah, Zeke was not in the police report at all, so that's where I kind of think that maybe people jump to conclusions a little too bad. F the media supports Zeke. I like that. We definitely need Zeke, without a doubt. Sauce Earl Grey tea. Well, I got to tell you, I get some regular tea in here with some lime and some rum and some honey, and it's doing pretty good right now. Most of the day and all last night, I was just like literally coughing to kill. I just couldn't take anymore. Holy Way. So Carson Wentz is doing great. Glad to hear it, buddy. Slow cut for Carson Wentz. Well, Green Dan, I agree with you. I don't think that Wentz is going to be that great. Now, it's going to be interesting because now they've said that they've got the best offensive line now in football. They've got weapons for him now. So they think that he's going to be all that. So when he falls on his face, Hollyway, what is the excuse going to be? Anything? Okay. Shallow Hal's in here, of course. I don't know where my girl Debbie Green is tonight. She's always in here. Fake news. Okay, I'm back. We should have known the Giants fans would be back. Um, I don't see any Redskin fans in here tonight, but I brought this up last week. Are the Washington Redskins the dumbest franchise out there? I mean, seriously. When guys like Brock Osweiler could get $75 million contract, when RG3, when he clearly couldn't play anymore, could get signed by Cleveland. Sure, Kirk Cousins has some issues and throws some picks at the wrong time, but he's the best you've had in a very long, long time. And I mean, the Redskins, they have a long list of quarterbacks that they have gone through. I mean, it's like Cleveland. You franchise tagged him last year, paid him $19 million, and you tried to lowball him and kind of threaten him with a franchise tag, which is over $25 million. So you've already paid him for this season, for the last two, $45 million. $45 million. You could have signed a long-term contract to him 2 years ago with probably less than $45 million guaranteed. Come next year, you can put the transition tag on him, which will cost you $28 million. But that means somebody could actually still take him. You might get a first-round pick or two for that. But if you put the tag on him next year, it's $38 million for 1 year. And currently, he has the third highest cap hit in the NFL. Not exactly a wise move, because more than likely, he could skip town and get paid because contracts are going up. They're not coming back down for quarterbacks. So, Redskins, either you're going to have to pay $38 million for him for one more year, or you're going to have to sign him to like $100+ million contract. You looked at what Derek Carr got. Or you can go back to not having a quarterback. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. Just curious if we have any Redskin fans in the house, how they feel about that whole Kirk Cousins situation. I mean, you guys always mess up with quarterbacks. You paid too much for RG screwed the pooch on that one. And then you tried to lowball Kirk Cousins, and you're going to end up paying through the nose on this one, or possibly lose him. And they wonder why I call him a dumpster fire. Let's get back to some more of these questions. Zeke should stay out of the clubs and go to. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I agree with the F the Giants. Easy 23, what's up, man? Well, Mr. Wright, it is sad. I agree with you that Zeke is a young man, and it's a sad state when it's going out. But the thing is, you got to understand, he's not you and me. He's Zeke Elliott. Everybody wants to be around him. And that means you got to be a little extra careful. You can't just live life like everybody else does because you are a celebrity. Everything you do will be recorded, scrutinized, and there's nothing you can do about that. So you can't go out and live life like everybody else. It's just the fact of life. You really need to focus on football right now. Deal with the partying later. Because a lot of you guys saw a video I had with Charles Haley. I did about Charles Haley at JMU. And I got to tell you, that was actually very emotional for me. Walking back at this time of year around the stadium, just the heat outside, the smell of the grass, it just brought back so many memories. And see, when I was in high school, I was actually really good in high school. But my senior season, the last scrimmage we had, I actually had a scout from UVA that was there actually scouting me. I was an offensive guard, but they wanted to make me a fullback. And I think I would have been a damn good fullback back then because I was about 210 pounds. I was running a 4.6 40. I was bench pressing 380. I was strong as an ox. I was fast, and I could hit. But in that game, I tore my ACL. Last minute of the game, going downfield on a punt. Outside contain, I'm running down there, and I'm looking in at the guy with the ball. The ball goes through his hands and starts rolling to me. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm picking up this ball, and I'm going for a touchdown. This is the way to end this scrimmage and get my scholarship. Unfortunately, as my left leg was planted, I got hit in the shoulder. And my left leg went sideways just like this. I saw it one time on film, and I didn't want to see it ever again because it was hideous. Tore the ACL. At that point, UVA was kind of like, well, if you get to UVA, you can walk on and try out for the team. So I focused on track. And when I went to JMU, I focused on track. Figured I was too small for college football and didn't have a scholarship and yada, yada, yada. Well, we had a coach, Coach Jones, who actually played for the Dallas Cowboys, messed up his wrist, and ended up coaching at JMU, the defensive line. He'd been watching me in the weight room and running track because at that time the track was around the football field, and said, hey, I want you to come try out for the defensive line. I'm like, dude, I'm 210 pounds, 5'11". I'm too small to be a nose guard. He's like, no, but with your speed and quickness and your strength, I think you can do some stuff. I was like, okay. Now, I earned a partial scholarship, which was great after, first year because I was basically scout team. But when it came to practice, I learned a lot from Charles Haley. Charles Haley played full go in practice, and that's what I did. I ended up being in a lot of fights. The offensive lineman didn't like me because I made him look bad. But it ended up getting me moved up in the depth chart, starting to play some special teams and being on the traveling squad and earning a scholarship. But like a dummy, I just got tired of going to college and decided, you know what? I'm done. And after walking back at that field and just thinking, what if? What if I had finished school? What if I stayed and played some more? I'm not saying I could have made it to the pros or anything because the chances of that happening are slim to none. But to have the opportunity to do what those guys do, to be out there in that tunnel, running out on the field on a Sunday afternoon with 90,000 people cheering you on, getting paid mega bucks to do that, and to carelessly not take care of that privilege, it hurts. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? When you see these guys out here with 5, 6 baby mamas or, half-ass doing stuff, dude, your time is short. Your window of opportunity in the NFL will go quicker than you think. And if you don't take care of that, it's going to go even faster. And when it's done, it's done. I'd give my right leg to be able to do that. And when you see these guys in the club fucking up, getting wasted and stuff like that, doing stupid crap, it's like, dude, you don't get it. You're going to get old one day. You're going to look back and you're going to wish that you had done things differently. You're going to second guess and say, damn, what the hell was I thinking? Look at Johnny Manziel right now. Johnny realizes, I miss football. But it's too late. You've burned the bridges. You've screwed up. You had your window of opportunity and you let it close. So, as an old man who loved playing football, don't waste your opportunities, guys. If any of you are listening, don't waste your opportunities because that time is so short and you can't go backwards. Okay, I'm done there. So that's maybe that's all the cold meds I've taken that have kind of gotten me high, and that's why I've gone back into that story there. So forgive me on that one, but I just look at some of these guys and it's just like, dude, you don't know, you don't know what you've got. you need to take care of it because excuse me, it'll all slip away. Any more news? Okay, the latest news, James, that I have on Zeke is it wasn't a bouncer that got clocked. It was a DJ who was drunk, who doesn't know who hit him. There were police off duty in the bar. There were no arrests. The only arrest that was there was for somebody drunk and disorderly, which had nothing to do with that. I'm going to have to get some more tea here. So we don't really have all the facts. It's beginning to sound more and more like Zeke wasn't the one that punched him. Now, I've had one person who's been commenting a lot. Thank you, Will.
One hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Thank you, Willie, for that super chat there, buddy. It's sounding more and more like Zeke didn't hit anybody or possibly didn't hit anybody because there's no witnesses to who got hit. I mean, who hit him? He doesn't even know who hit him. That's how drunk he was. I got to tell you, if I got hit in the face, I know who hit me. They're only 3 feet away from me. You're telling me you're so drunk you don't know who hit you? Yeah. Well, Victor, shout out to you. And if you haven't checked out Victor's page, and I know Victor's going to be doing some funny videos coming up. Victor's a comedian, and he is hilarious. The only problem is the NFL has eminent domain. Basically, you don't have to be charged with something for the NFL to say, you know what, we're going to sit your ass down. And the NFL could possibly do something because they're looking at it as you're not protecting the shield. We know you're a big box office draw, but we're going to send you a message that this isn't going to be put up with. You're going to tone your shit down. We're not going to hear about any incidences of you in a club, even though it's maybe not you, it's the people around you, whatever. The NFL may do that. You know, First Take was interesting today because they were talking about Eli Manning compared to LeBron James. I was like, damn, this thing really has gone to fake sports news. Eli Manning like LeBron James? Are we talking about the same Eli Manning who's led the league in interceptions over the last 8 years? That Eli Manning? The turnover machine that is Eli Manning? The Eli Manning that won the 2 Super Bowls because of the defense that he had? That Eli Manning is like LeBron James? Get the F out of here. Somebody in here actually said that they have a friend who works at the club and said that it was definitely Zeke who hit him, and Zeke ran out the back door and his people went out the front door. And I'm kind of like, okay, Zeke ran out the door. That just didn't quite sound right. Oh, guys, the whole 11,000 slipped right past me. I want to thank you guys for all the support on the channel. This thing's been growing a lot faster than I ever thought it was. I never thought I'd get over 1,000 subscribers, much less 11. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And that's why we're trying to make some changes and trying to make the Jobu Sports Report the best YouTube Dallas Cowboy channel out there. I take pride in trying to bring you guys the latest up-to-date news as correct as possible, and also try and get you guys to think a little differently and outside the box from the regular talking heads. If you watched ESPN shows today, all of it was basically Zeke Elliott is a thug, needs to be sat down, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm kind of like, let's kind of go back a little bit. And there's Jackie. Hey, Jackie, how are you doing tonight? Let's kind of back off until we get all the facts and stuff before we start making a snap decision on that. And speaking of that, I believe that there's some other evidence that's kind of coming to light on our linebacker. So we'll see how that goes. So it may be a little bit more evidence about the incident prior to him trying to back up in there. We don't know what was said exactly, but we're hearing some rumors about some things. Yeah, Jackie, you're right. Zeke's birthday is Saturday. Well, here's the good thing, Jackie. It may be on Saturday, but the Dallas Cowboys will be flying to Oxnard. Um,
One hell of a job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Jag, the Joker, I appreciate that, but it's very bad to steal Joe Boo's rum. And right now, I tell you what, let me give him a cigar because we need all the mojo we can get. In fact, I ought to pour him a second one because this crap that's going on lately has just been crazy. Um, well, Megatron is definitely not coming out of retirement for the Lions, but if he gets the right offer on team and thinks he has an opportunity to get a ring, he'll be back out. Yeah, you're right, Christian. ESPN it has really turned into more of TMZ, and it's kind of sad to me because when ESPN came out originally, I mean, it was something. There was a void, there was a vacuum when it came to sports news because you had the local news, you had Sports Illustrated on Fridays, and you had the USA Today. When USA Today came out, I was like, wow, okay, we got the USA Today. But you didn't have really football coverage or sports coverage like you do now. There was no internet. And ESPN was incredible with bringing you all the action and stuff in real insight. But what we got now, I'm sorry, it's getting pathetic. All the shows have become more reality based type of a show. They've kind of gone to the younger faces, and it's more about arguing than actually giving you the facts and letting you decide what you want. Like I said, the whole thing today was you could tell how it was set up. It was a round table. You had one guy who had to be on the fence of Zeke, and then everybody else is all talking about, he's an idiot. Roger Goodell needs to go down. He's, domestic violence abuser and everything. It's like, wait a minute. You aren't even stating fact. What's your conclusion? And it's just sad what it's turned into. Dave from Australia. Well, so far we've had shot glasses go to England. We've had shirts go to Afghanistan and Germany. I've had stuff go to Mexico. So down under. In fact, I have a friend who's at Michelle who is down under that moved that way. So yeah, we can definitely get you there. If you do want to get a shirt or shot glasses, email me at the address. It's on the side at the Cowboy Joe Boo address right there. Um, and then that way I can figure out exactly what it'll cost to ship to wherever you are. So if you're definitely interested, and anybody else who's interested in getting one of the Spread the Mojo shot glasses, so that way when the Cowboys make you drink, you can pour one with us or one of our shirts. Just go to the website there and you can order them on there. And I'm doing some other things with the website. I wish I had more time to really just devote to the YouTube channel and my website and stuff. But I'm going to be doing more and more cooking videos and stuff and giving you some good tailgating recipes that I can do. So hopefully you'll get everything you need here. You need to fix your house, I can help you with that one. If you want a great recipe for a football party, I can help you with that one. If you want the latest news on the Dallas Cowboys with insight, I can give you that one. And of course, you want to get your buzz on, we can handle that one too. And I don't know, Holy Ways, that Zeke is a troubled person. I think trouble just seems to follow him. Daniel is from Russia. Wow, shout out to Russia. I'm from Russia. I've never seen so many Americans hate the Cowboys people like the Cowboys. You're right about that one, Daniel. And that's from an outsider looking in and realizing it, how much people hate the Cowboys. Um, okay. Jackie, yeah, that's a great piece on Dak Prescott. It's actually a fantastic story when you think about it and when you hear about what he's actually gone through in his life and the strength that he has. A lot of people will say that he's going to have the sophomore slump and everything else, but I don't think so. Pressure is not something that he has a problem with. I don't know if that's helping because of the psychology that he's taken and things like that, but Dak is cool as could be. And if he didn't fold with the media scrutiny that he had last year, with literally every quarter being dissected where, he should be pulled for Tony Romo, he handled it. And I think with him having a full training camp, a full off season with the team as the team leader, I look for him to take another step in the right direction. And I've always said, watch Dez and Dak. I'm thinking that Dez is going to have a career season this year. But then again, what do I know? Jag the Jester, I don't know about the team falling apart. If anything, I think you're going to end up having the bunker mentality. I think you're going to have the team basically coming together and realizing it's us against the world. And them coming together as a team, realizing that, you know what, we're not going to get any help from the referees. We got screwed last year in the playoffs. We're not getting any help from the league office because, they're going to suspend anything and everything with the Dallas Cowboys. And sometimes when you have a lightning rod like that, it can do wonders for pulling a team together. Because think about, say, New England. I hate to talk about New England, but Fishful, he's a New England fan here. Shout out to him. But when the world is against them, it seems like that's when they play the best. Think about it. Tom Brady was suspended for 4 games and they won 3 of them. How does that happen? With guys who had never started. Your starter got hurt, they brought another guy in, and he won. They rallied around each other and said, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to lose. Yeah, we lost our key player, but we're not going to lose. And that may be what happens with this Dallas Cowboy team. You look at the enthusiasm of the guys on here that are fighting for their football lives. Don't underestimate realizing that I might not be here next year if I don't have a great year for a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence or Tyrone Crawford. Look at a guy like Jason Witten. Jason Witten knows that I haven't decided if I'm coming back after this year. You don't think that guy's going to be playing lights out? Trying that last gasp to get a ring? You don't think if Zeke Elliott gets suspended for a game or two that he's not going to be out on a mission when he gets back to shut up everybody? I think you have a lot of guys that are going to have a lot of chips on those shoulders. That's why I call them the black sheep. Nobody gives them any respect. We got Eli Manning here who talks about the Cowboys are terrible. The turnover machine that is. Daniel, I have to agree with you. Josh Norman is an asshole, but hey, I'm not mad at him. He's figured out how to win. Get under people's skin, piss them off, and get them off their game. The Giants are trash. Okay.
One hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Thank you, Ricky Lee, for that. Well, you think the only one to try and suspend Zeke to make him waste their time to pay off. Well, Michael over there thinks that actually it would be a good thing for him to be suspended to get him to refocus on football and send him a message that, hey, buddy, it's not tolerated. The part that bothers me more than anything else is with all the stuff that's been going on, where's the Dallas Cowboys? I said this about our linebacker being arrested. I still have yet to hear anybody from the Cowboys say anything in the same way as Darren McFadden's family being shot. Didn't hear anything from anybody. So my question is, where's the leadership from the top? Where is the support from the top? Where is the guidance from the top? Because we keep having incidences over and over and over again, but we don't seem to change anything. We get we're disappointed. But what is it we're doing differently? My wife always says, what are you going to do differently? At the end of the day, what did you do today to get you a step closer to your goal? What did you do differently? We got this saying, recommit every day. But we don't see any changes at the top. And that's where it starts from, the top. Okay, so we have a Stephen A. Smith trolling. Okay, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Okay, Stephen A. We hear you. Well, Victor, it's too late to fire Jason Garrett. What we have to do now. Okay, breaking news from Justin Quarles. Thank you. Ian Rappaport just sent out a tweet that witness claims Zeke Elliott is not the man who threw the punch and it was somebody else. It just hit Twitter. Thank you very much. That's where I felt actually really good this morning, thanks to Law Nation, and I wish he was here with me tonight. With Law letting me know about that, I started putting up a video this morning before you saw anything on Bleacher Report, before you saw anything on 12 Up, before you saw anything really on the wires because of Mike Fisher and Law Nation. I felt great about that. And then I started talking on my way to work. I guess that was about 4 o'clock. I did a video on the way in and said, it doesn't seem right that before we condemn him, let's stop and see the facts of what we have. We got the skinny guy on the ground who's rolling around, and there's videotape of him rolling around the ground. The police aren't talking to Zeke Elliott. They're policemen who were in the club, but yet if Zeke hit him, you know he was going to be arrested. I feel good that I was actually kind of like saying, hold up before we condemn the guy. Now, the interesting thing will be is I want to know if any of these talking head assholes will say, oh, we were wrong, our bad. But I can guarantee you all of this is a super chat money. I can guarantee you all of this. I'll put this against it, that you won't hear a single one of those guys say, we were wrong about Zeke Elliott. We owe you an apology. Because this is the same crap that they ended up doing to Dez Bryant in the police came to his house 6 times. There's a tape out that's 10 times worse than Ray Rice. But you never heard any of them say, we were wrong. So that's some good news. Maybe the shot of rum and the cigar helped. I don't know. I'm just hoping that that's the case. And as soon as I'm off here, I will definitely check out the waiver wires of that. Cowboys are about to upset the whole NFC East. I don't know if it'd be an upset if they won the NFC East. In fact, I think it'd be more of an upset if they didn't. Freddie, I mean, let's be honest. The Cowboys have the best offensive line, even though the Eagles swear that they do. I think that offensive line got better with Collins instead of Doug Free. Running back wise, if he's not suspended for the season, you got the best running back. In my mind, I'll take Dak Prescott over anybody else in the NFC East. Anybody else. You Giants fans will say that, Eli Manning is elite. I'll disagree with you on that one. I'll put my wide receivers against anybody's wide receivers. And I think our defense is going to surprise some people this year. So with all of that, with 5 players rated in the top 50, I think we should be doing a whole lot of damage. And if we aren't, it'll be a disappointment for me. Leave Zeke alone. I'm sorry. Did I miss it? Let me see. Oh man. I'm sorry.
One hell of a job, and the only thing else I can say is, how about them Cowboys?
Sorry about them. How about them Cowboys? All these drugs that I'm taking for this flu are kicking my ass, and I'm missing stuff. Yeah. that's one of those things that only happens to the Dallas Cowboys, it seems. Um, I don't know how many of you guys heard about Lucky Whitehead, who has not been real lucky as of late. Apparently, while he was out of town, he had somebody dog sitting for him. Somebody stole his dog, and they've been proceeding to call him and basically ask for a ransom. So, it's kind of pathetic. Steal a man's dog and try and hold him for a hostage. I mean, hold him for ransom. I mean, that's lock that guy up. Beat his ass down. Put him in a dog ring with a dog. But somebody that steals somebody's dog, that's pretty pathetic. And I hope Lucky gets his dog back and hope that guy goes to jail. Okay. So we got a Skip Bayless and a Stephen A. Smith. It's okay. And an Eli Manning. Wow. Okay. So all you guys are tuning in. Oh, good night, Jackie. I hope to see you again on Friday night when we do this again. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. The defense will be 14th overall. I'll agree with you on that one. We were 14th overall, but unfortunately, down the stretch, we couldn't get a pass rush when we needed it the most against Aaron Rodgers. Yes, we were the number one rush defense, but that number is a little bit skewed because teams had to throw against us a lot more to try and keep up. So when you start looking at the numbers, they threw a lot more than they necessarily ran against us. So I'm not arguing with the actual statistics, and that's the great thing about statistics. And when you go to college, or if you get into college, you've taken statistics, you can prove two opposite points with the same data between which way you're using between mean, median, mode, and modulation. So, yeah, those stats are all good, but the one that I will say is we didn't touch Aaron Rodgers during the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers was actually back there without his chin strap buckled. So, yes, our defense was 14th overall, fifth in scoring, but we couldn't do it when it counted. So, we have to improve on that. Get rid of Lucky. Well, I think Lucky is going to lose his spot, sadly. Lucky's a nice guy, and I wish him well. But I think with Ryan Switzer there, he's definitely going to have a hard time making it. Awuzie, I'm hoping Awuzie will surprise everybody. Skip, getting him, I think, is definitely a big plus, and I think he's going to work out well. Question will be is how well is he going to be as a rookie? Good night, Jackie. Woods. See, Xavier Woods, I think he could end up being a beast. He is a playmaker. He's not real big, and for a safety, but I think that guy is a playmaker. Some guys just have a nose for the football, and he's a guy that you've got to get on the field. Cowboys forever. No, there's been nothing on Nolan Carroll thus far about being suspended, but he probably will get something. Well, how about the Cowboys? I think I have to agree with you on Alfred Morris still being on the team because right now, with the possible suspension of Zeke, you're definitely going to hold on to him. The Black Alex Smith. Oh, dude. Really? Wow. Carlos, I am a little bit tired, but it's more of I've got this cold. Um, I was up at 4:45 this morning because I had to be at work in DC at 6 o'clock and worked 12 hours today on top of having this cold. So, yeah, I am a little bit tired. So, after I finish this broadcast, I am going to go upstairs. I don't have to work until 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. So, I am going to sleep in. Sleep in the morning. Sleep in the morning. So, with that latest round of sneezes and the tickle on my throat, I am going to say goodnight to all of you great people. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I'm glad to hear that we have some good news on Zeke Elliott. Hopefully, this will be the last bad news that we have before training camp starts, and hopefully, we won't have any bad news from training camp. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Joe Boo. Thank you guys. for watching, commenting, subscribing, and watching me slowly die here on the Joe Boo Sports Report. I will see you guys soon. Have a great night.